to Katrina's Creations. This is episode 219, and it's been a busy week. It's been a very busy week with moving my mom and doctor's appointments, and I have gotten some things done. I don't have anything finished, and I have something I'm going to have to do a major rip-out job on, but we'll get to that. Okay, so let's get started with what I have gotten that I've been working on this week. I have added several squares to my blanket, and I actually remembered this week to mark the squares that I did. So I did all the way across here. So this is a blue, and then we go to a turquoise, and then a maroon, and a pink and a gray, and a tan, and then a pink with some green in it. So my blanket is now a rectangle. It is 8 squares across and 6 squares deep, and you can see the center miter. Let's see. You can see the center miter, right? It's not showing up that well. The center miter is right here. So now when I hold it back, you'll see it. So that was project number 1 that I've worked on. So I've added 6 squares to it. Then I've worked on my socks a little bit. I feel like these are the Forever socks. I think I made them a little too dense. They're going to be nice and warm, but I feel like they're taking forever. So I am doing these 2 at a time. And here is, well, let me hold it this way. This is the top where you'd put your foot in. Here is the heel right there. And I am working across the foot. So I've maybe done an inch or so this week. So there it is, 2 at a time socks. Not too exciting, but I'm getting there with them. Now we come to my project rip out. Okay, I am making a Colorwork sweater. This is the pattern I chose. It's a free pattern by Drops Design. It is called Pearls du Nord, which means northern pearls. And here is what it looks like. So the Colorwork yoke is the whole white part here. Now, here's what the interesting thing is. These are the 2 yarns that I am using, which look perfect together. Only one problem. This yarn has the exact same color of turquoise as this. I mean, it is an exact match. So when I am doing the color work, the pattern design disappears at times once I hit the speckled part that's the same color as the main color. So I actually had done the ribbing at the neck. This is a top-down sweater, so it starts at the neck. And here you can see some of my pattern, some of my color work, but you can't see the actual pattern showing up because there's sections like right here where it kind of completely disappears because the pattern color is the same. So that's not going to work out too good. I mean, here you can see a little bit more of it. That's what it was supposed to look like, but then it gets to portions where the color takes over and see, some of it like disappears. So it's not going to work like that. I am still going to make this sweater, but I'm not going to use this pattern. I'm going to take this completely off the needles, and I will show you what the back looks like in case you've never seen what color work looks like on the back. That's the back. These long strands of white, well, they're not really long, but that strands of white are where you're carrying the color behind your knitting, so it only pops out on the front. And you just have to be really careful that you don't pull that too tight or it's going to make your work pucker. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to rip this completely off of the needles. And these were tiny needles too. I think when I redo this pattern, I will up the needle size just a little bit because the fabric is a little more dense than it really needs to be. I think I could go up a needle size with no problem, and it's still going to be thick enough. You can't see through it or anything. So what I'm going to do is one day I'm going to take it apart, like I said, and one day I'm going to make a sweater, and the whole yoke is going to be done with this, and then the bottom part of the sweater will be like this. So I'll start the top, and then I will kind of stripe it together and fade this out and do the rest of the sweater in this. So it will get used, but it's not going to be used for this particular pattern, because what's the point of doing color work if it doesn't show up? So that's my color work gone wrong this week. So I am going to do this sweater, and I'm going to do it in plain old black and white. Now it is a 3-color sweater, so I might dig back here and get some gray, because I'm sure I've got a whole bunch of gray over in here on a shelf. So I might pull that out for a 3rd color. So the main body of the sweater is going to be done, I think, in black. Or maybe the opposite. Maybe I'll do the majority of it in white. If I do the top lace, the color work in white, it'll look like I'm wearing almost like a lace collar with a black sweater. But part of me goes, an entire sweater in black is really hard on the eyes, especially if it is a small needle. They're going together, but we'll be doing some thinking about which one's going to be the main color. I've got plenty of both to do it. I really like the idea of the black sweater with the white on it. I think that would look the prettiest, because like I said, it would look just like a lace collar. So maybe I'll just bite the bullet, and I will try to do it with this and hope that I can still see afterwards. Just in case you don't know what I'm talking about, trying to crochet or knit with a dark color, like navy blue, black, any color that is dark, can be very, very hard on your eyes, especially if you're using small needles. So we'll see. One of these is going to be the main color. Stay tuned next week to see which one I choose. I think it'll be the black, but we'll see. Anyway, that is that project. Now let's get onto my crochet project. Now I am making a plaid Afghan. I saw one on the Secret Yarnery. I wish it would have just done her pattern. Instead, I had picked out a pattern called the Perfectly Plaid Pattern. It was a Leisure Arts pattern, and I bought it. And then I started to do it and realized I didn't read the whole pattern before I decided that was what I was going to do. It calls for more than 2 colors of yarn. I have 2 colors that I'm putting together for this plaid. So I went looking for another pattern, and I found one, and I will stick a picture up of what it looks like, but it is called the Lumberjack Flanagan. It's by Moogly. It is a free pattern. It's okay, but it's not quite what I was going for. First off, the pattern calls for anytime you do plaid where you're going to have 2 colors kind of go together in some points, you have to hold 2 different colors together. So you're always holding 2 strands of yarn together. So they called for a 10mm hook. I tried it with a 10mm hook, and it's double crochet. The whole thing is double crochet. I didn't like the way it looked. I like a denser woven fabric. So I changed out, and I am using a size L, which is also an 11, and it is an 8mm hook. That's what I changed to. These are some of these crochet hooks. It's part of that set that I got off of Amazon for like, I think the whole set there was 11 or 14 different hooks, and it was like $9.97. There is a link to this below in my Amazon link. If you click there to my favorite things, you will see this. But it's a whole set, and I like it because it's got the squishy rubbery handles. These are my favorite. So this is an 8mm. And the Afghan is done in strips. So you do it in like vertical strips. So because I cut down on the size hook, my squares are smaller. So here is I have one whole strip done. So here is the first one, and the second, and the third, and the fourth, and the fifth, and the sixth, and the seventh. So that's strip number 1. I'm not sure how many strips I'm going to put in. It depends on how far the yarn goes. So here is strip number 2, and strip number 2 will just get whip stitched together when I finish it. So these two will go together like this. And this is where I stopped. You can see I'm not done this square yet. So they will hook together like this. And then it'll be another one of these, and it's every other one. And then the next row will be another row of these again. And that's how it forms the plaid. So you are always holding 2 strands together. Here you can see I'm doing 2 yellow strands, but here of course I'm doing a yellow and a blue. And then of course with the blue I'm holding 2 blue strands together. So like I said, it's okay. Double crochet is one of my favorite stitches to do, but I'm not crazy about the look of a double crochet. I think my favorite look of a crochet is a single crochet. That's just, I like the way it looks. It's just neater. I don't know. I don't like where you have all these little holes that your fingers can pop through. I don't know. Just a personal preference there, but those are the projects that I have been working on this week. So before we take a look at show and tell this week, I wanted to talk about some of the things that you are going to see in show and tell this week. First, I wanted to mention that my nephew's wife, Alicia, and you'll see several, she's got 3 pictures in the show and tell. She crochets. It's funny, I found out I have family members that crochet this week, because I also found out that my brother-in-law's wife also crochets. So it'll be Dave's brother's wife. That she crochets. I was like, who knew? I didn't know these people all crocheted. So you will get to see some of my niece's crochet, and her name is Alicia. And then you're also going to see there's some crochet by Susie Pop's Creation. She does sell things over on Etsy, but she put up some pictures of some crochet that she did a few years back or a while back. I thought I was looking at a painting at first. I had to do a double take until I realized it's actually crochet. It is that detailed. I've never seen crochet look quite this detailed before, but you'll see it. You'll understand. And then the last thing is Yoka. With her weaving, I think everything she picks up she does well. But yes, just saying, I think everything she picks up looks wonderful. No wonder she's a home economics teacher. But anyway, she wove a table runner that is absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, it kind of looks like houndstooth, the way it's woven. But anyway, it's really pretty too. So that being said, I'm going to let you all see what everybody else has been making this week. would like to share some things that you have made on our show and tell segment, you are more than welcome to. All you need to do is either send pictures to me at KatrinasCreations@yahoo.com, or you can post them on my Facebook page, Katrina Knits, or I do have another social network because I know several people are leaving, some people are leaving Facebook, and so I opened up an account over at MeWe, and it is Katrina's Creations on MeWe. I wish I could do Katrina's Creations on Facebook, but somebody else already has it. So that's why it's Katrina Knits. But anyway, yeah, so I do have a MeWe account too. So you can post on any of those three, and I will get the pictures for show and tell. Just tell me a little bit about them if you can. And that way other people can see what patterns it is and that kind of thing, if they want to make them as well. So now it is time for acquisitions. And the first thing I got, this was a Christmas card that arrived, well, it actually arrived on time. My husband got it out of the mailbox and piled it on a table that sits next to him, and it got kind of buried, and then he cleaned off the table and found it like after Christmas. Anyway, this is from Jocelyn Prieto. So it has a nice message inside. So yeah, anyway, if I ever go back up to Maine again, I'd like to meet up and hang out for a little bit, have a cup of tea or coffee or something, because she's been watching the channel forever and we have chatted back and forth quite a bit. So it'd be fun to meet in person. The other thing I got, and this is where I need some advice, I got from Premier Yarns some sparkly yarn. If you remember, a while back, I haven't even taken it out of the packaging, it just came in the other day. I'm redoing my Christmas tree for next year. And so I am making, I bought a, had a black Christmas tree because sort of I accidentally bought the wrong color. That's what happens when you are battling the hordes at Walmart the day after Christmas to get a bargain, and you're looking at the size tree and not paying too much attention to the color of the tree. So it kind of looked like we were in mourning, and it's been like that for a couple years, or we got caught in a wildfire. You know, it just, yeah, it wasn't quite the look I was going for, so I finally donated the tree to my supervisor, who actually wanted a black tree, and I bought one that is iridescent white. So it's white, but it's got like little shimmeries of other colors in it, and I'm putting light blue Christmas balls on it next year. And then I'm crocheting a blue sparkly tree skirt. Now, this was the color I was going to use. You can see the sparkles in it. And this is Lion Brand Shawl in a Cake. However, it almost has a purpley denim color, which is not the color of the Christmas balls. It wasn't going to look right. So I found this from Premier Yarns. It is called Spangle. Look at that. Look how sparkly. It's got some, it's all like teals and blues, and it's a chainette type of construction. I doubt it'll show up on here because my camera does not autofocus. But it is sparkly, and let's see what it is made of. It is a number 3 weight, so it's a lightweight, like a fingering weight to light worsted. And how much yardage is in this? Does it not say it's made in Turkey? Oh, here we go. It's 164 yards or 150 meters. It is 75% nylon and 25% metallic. So there it is, and I have 4 skeins of this. Like I said, I am going to crochet a tree skirt, but this is where I need your help. If you know a pattern for a tree skirt, please let me know, because I haven't really searched for one. I want something real lacy and frilly looking. Dave will just love that, but you know, anyway. So there is my sparkly yarn for my tree skirt. So, like I said, please send me patterns, names of patterns if you know of some tree skirt patterns that might work for that weight yarn. Now, I have something I've been reading lately. I don't always tell you what I'm reading, sometimes I am reading stuff, other times it's nothing knitting related or crochet related. But I am reading the latest book by Peggy Earhart. She has the Knit and Nibble series, and it's her and her neighbor and her knitting group in general, but mostly her and the main character and the neighbor. So it's Pamela and Bettina, and they live across the street from each other in New Jersey, and they have a knitting group that gets together once a week, but on the side they also solve mysteries that have happened. So the latest one is called Death of a Christmas Card Crafter, and it is about a lady who makes homemade Christmas cards, and she's made one of the 12 days of Christmas for each of the last 12 years. And for the 12th year, it's supposed to be 12 drummers drumming, but they notice after she's been murdered in the Christmas tree lot that there is a 13th drummer. So now they're out to find out what really happened. So I'm almost at the end of it, so I know who had happened at this point, but it was really good. I really enjoy her books. So that again is Peggy Earhart. So if you want to check out any of her series, you could. Now it's time for... Now in our Come and Get It section, Lion Brand has been having sales off and on pretty much all week long. They just kind of finish one sale and they start another one, so I will let you know those as they come around. Knit Picks is offering 40% off of their books, so this would be their pattern books or any of their other books. 40% off. Annie's in their Last Chance, which is basically their clearance section. They have some yarn over there, which, you know, I mean, there's quite a bit of yarn over there, but some of the ones that really caught my attention, mainly because they were cheap, and that is Premier Yarns Eversoft for $2.99. They also have Red Heart Roly Poly for $3.99. Roly Poly looks very similar to Mandala. It's like an ombre type of yarn. And they also had Red Heart Hello Gorgeous for $4.99 per skein. So that is over in the clearance section, which is called the Last Chance section over at Annie's. And Leisure Arts is still running their loom sale. So if you want to try loom knitting, they have, it's like 3 or 4 sizes of different rectangular looms, you know, packaged as a bundle. And then you get 3 ebooks as well. So anyway, and it's $39.99, which really sounds like a lot, but when you think about you're getting looms and 3 books, that's not bad. When I posted this last, they only have 9 left. So that is Leisure Arts, and I guess that is it for this week. Now, next week, because we are going to be moving my parents, other than Tuesday when I'm at work, I am going to be up helping my folks all week long. Which is what I'm supposed to be doing as a daughter. So anyway, we're going to be up there, but there will not be any podcasts this week. So no Wednesday or Saturday podcasts, because I think I'm going to be exhausted. I don't know when I don't know when I would have a chance to film, because I just don't know how long each day we're going to be up there trying to get everything done and get them moved. So I will be back the following week, actually the following Wednesday. I will be back. So just no Wednesday video or Saturday video, but I will be back the following Wednesday, and of course then we'll be back on our regular schedule. But yeah, just till I get them moved and get them situated. Update on Mom's arm. She is doing better. She doesn't go back to the doctor till February, and she is able to move it a little bit. They're starting to give her some exercises to do, and it's all healing. So thank you all for the prayers and the kind thoughts and everything, and asking about my mom. She is doing better. If we can just keep her from overdoing with the move. My brother and I keep going, sit back down, just tell us what needs to be done, and you know. So she wants to help, but we keep saying, you can help by resting, because if you hurt it worse, that's not going to help anybody. So, yeah. So that is it for this week, and I will see you again in a week. So thanks again for your understanding with me skipping a week, and I will see you then. So bye everybody.